Greetings, Judah, Israel, DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, I want to take a moment and share with you a message. And this is a message that came to me in a dream. Uh, I guess not maybe a couple of hours ago. And the message was burning, so deeply in my heart that I could hardly get myself together, to come into a quiet place, to share this message because I really believe that it's an urgent message and something that Elohim wants all of us, as Israelites, to clearly understand. And let me give you the dream, and then I'm going to give you some scripture, that you can ponder on, you can reflect upon. And I hope and pray that wherever you are, in your stage of life, that you're listening clearly and you're not, taking for granted the things that are going on around you. And what I mean by taking for granted, oblivious to it, that, well, I got other things to do and I have, priorities and there's some, you know, you know, people depending on me, whatever it is that's got your attention, whatever it is that I pray that after I share this message, that I am able to clarify to each and every one of us that Yah will is always the first. Yahuwah will is the first will for Israel because he knows what we don't know. He understands what we can't, perceive. And his plan will be executed with or without us, but his plan is inclusive of us. His will is that all of Israel is saved. That's his will. Elohim loves us. We are the apple of his eye. We are the chosen of Israel. Above all the other nations on this earth, he chose us to be a peculiar or particular people unto himself. And that should be enough, really, to at least get us to stop, to think, and to at least consider. You guys know where I typically take you when I start talking about consider. Isaiah, chapter 1. The ass knows his owner. The ox knows his master. But Israel, they don't know anything. They don't know their master. They think their master is their boss at work or their spouse at home or the kid, who they're trying to buy his love or the kid who's trying to buy theirs. Whatever it might be, the landlord, the nice body, the nice job, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But at the end of the day, unlike the ass and the ox, supposedly two beasts of burden, Yah's blessed. Won't even consider, who he is to them, to us. And that leads that has led us into captivity, that has led us into trouble, burden after burden, to the point now that, we have become a proverb, a byword. People look at us and they think the worst thoughts about us as a nation of people. When in all actuality, when they look at us, they should see Yahuwah. Sisters, you, brothers, you as well. And because of our unwillingness to cooperate, our unwillingness to listen, take heed, listen to the warning. Stop chasing the heathens. Stop embracing the heathens' customs. Stop being afraid, to be an outlier, an anomaly. Learn to be courageous is what he's saying to us because we are a courageous people in our right mind when we serve Yah by being obedient to his Torah, his laws and statutes, and his commandments. Although others will tell you it's not necessary while we sit out here and suffer. The same people will tell you that our Torah is not necessary. Now I'm going to get to the dream. But the same people will tell you our Torah is not necessary, our scriptures are done away with, are the same people who watch you suffer, watch our people suffer. In the wilderness of America or the wilderness anywhere our people are scattered on this earth. The same people who tell us to ignore the Torah, it's old, it's done away with, embrace the new, are the same people who take no responsibility when we suffer. And when we go to them and we say, where is Yah? I thought you said if I did these things that Yah would be present for me. And they said, well, you must be doing something wrong. It's okay, I'll stop right there. I'll stop. Let Yahuwah's word be true. Let the words of men be lies, except they show it to you in his Torah, in his laws, in his statutes, or in his scripture by men who are called and who are assigned by Elohim. And you can see the chronicle, the chain from man to man, the consistency in these men and women who Yah has called to remind us of him, ourselves, and the importance of our obedience. And if we want to be delivered, if we want the enemy's foot off of our neck, if we're truly, truly sick and tired of being sick and tired, then we're going to learn to obey. And let me not be remiss. The stranger out there, that applies to you as well. But let me go to the dream. The dream that I had was that I was driving, and it was me and someone else was driving. The person in my mind was a cousin. That's the person who I could see. You know, if you say, well, which one of the cousins, I would tell you the cousin looked like a cousin, looked like a niece, and looked like a friend. Doesn't that sound just like a dream? And we were traveling in this minivan with a bunch of other people. And we were headed to like this resort up, I would say it was somewhere up in some mountain somewhere. And I know it was like a 3-day, 4-day, journey to get there. And as we went from place to place, every time we stopped, there was confusion. Someone, needed, one thing. Someone needed another. Someone wanted to eat something. Someone didn't, want to eat what was prepared for the trip to eat. And they kept coming to me. And then myself as the driver, and I guess because I was driving, maybe maybe it was similar to me being the leader of that particular group. And I kept trying to appease them every time. And again, matter of fact, one of my brothers was there. And this thing will manifest again. I'm sure Yah will give me what again, and this is not directed at a niece. It's not directed at a cousin. It's not directed at a friend. It's not directed as a, I think I said niece, cousin, brother, friend. It's directed at Israel. I'm going to continue. But every time we stopped, there was a need. They needed a better room. They wanted to stay a little longer. And they finally got to the point where I got frustrated. I said, guys, we do have to get where we're going. We only have so much time to get there because we got to go back. Because where we were going, we were going, but we were coming back. There was a time for us to return, is what I'm saying. Again, the dream. And so, finally I said, look, we can't keep stopping and accommodating every little need that you have. If you want a particular food, why didn't you bring a particular piece of food? It really got so bad, brothers and sisters, in this dream that I literally had men coming to me saying, did you bring any extra clothes that I could wear? And I remember, I don't know where these clothes appeared from, but there was a big old stack of clothes. I don't know, it must have been a pretty big van, I guess. And I'm looking at these clothes, and one of the guys is a pretty, big guy. Not like big and obese, but he was maybe, I don't know, maybe a 40, 42 in the waist, something like that, right? Now, DFG, right now I'm running somewhere between 33, 34 waist, so it wasn't my clothing. So I'm digging through it, And I'm digging through it, and I'm trying to find something. I said, oh, here's some gym shorts. This is, I kid you not, brothers and sisters. I said, so, and I put him in. He looked at him, and he's like, I don't want no gym shorts. And then it dawned on me. It is not your responsibility to make sure that they are prepared for a trip they fully knew they were going on. And brothers and sisters, then I woke up. And you know what dawned on me? It was Yahweh saying, my people aren't prepared. Israel isn't ready for what is to come. Yes, there are many voices out there warning them. They all agree to go. They all want to go. They all want to be delivered. But they're not prepared. They're not prepared mentally. They're not prepared, spiritually. And they definitely not prepared physically. They haven't taken any steps. All they want to do is when that so-called trumpet blows, when the engine starts, they just want to jump on and come along. And Yah said that's not going to cut it. He said, tell my people that is not going to be enough. If they expect to make the trip, then they need to be ready to take the trip. And I believe this is Elohim's way of telling us, even in regards to being prepped. We talk about this, and we've talked about this for a lot of time, brothers and sisters. Making sure you have water, making sure we have food, making sure we have medical needs. Make sure we have sanitary needs for babies and for women and for injured men, women, and babies. We've talked about this for a long time, clothing. Because we knew the time would come that we wouldn't, very, very possible, either have to flee or hunker down. But what we were not going to be able to do is stay, because staying for our people without taking any precautions was equivalent to death. And I bring this out again to my brothers and sisters for you to consider. I feel a little bit like Isaiah, when I'm talking about this. I feel like Moses, when I'm talking about this. I even feel like Elijah when I'm talking about this. About, sharing with my brothers and sisters whom I know Yah loves, and he loved them enough to use me as one of his vessels to inform, to warn, to educate, motivate them if possible. And yet, like those men, that feeling of frustration comes on. Because you're doing your part. At least you're doing the best you can for what you have. And Moses did the best he could. He wasn't perfect, but he did the best he could with what he had. Isaiah did the best he could, what he had. Elijah did the best that he could what he had. Go back and read their stories. You'll see. And yes, there was a level of frustration, with these men. They weren't arrogant and high-minded or bougie. They were just obedient servants who understood that Yah's people were precious in the sight of Elohim. And if they were the ones who were to lead Yah's people to the place where Yah wanted them to be, then so be it. Many times they ignored their own circumstance, their own situation for Yah. And sometimes, it caused them some pain. Been there, done that. Suspect I may do it again. But in all of that, none of it matters if my brothers and my sisters are not going to listen. If you're going to keep the mindset, I don't have to do anything, but when the things really get bad, I'm going to expect Yah to provide. Well, that's not what Yah said. That's not what he said. He said, warn the people. What did he tell Isaiah? Cry aloud, spare not, lift up your voice like a trumpet. Warn my people. He didn't say that if you warn my people and they didn't do anything, that when the time they needed me, I'd be there for them. To be honest with you, brothers and sisters, I can show you in the book where he says that if we warn the people, or if we are people that have been warned, strangers, you too, that he said when we do decide that we got time for him or we have time for him and cry out for his help, he said he's going to laugh at us. He said, I will laugh at their calamity. Let's see if I can. I'm not going to go too far because he's giving me some word to bring out, and I don't want to move forward, but it appears to me that this is somewhere he wanted me to go. I'll go to the book of Proverbs and go to chapter 1. I'm going to only share, a couple of verses with you. Well, yeah. Go to Proverbs chapter 1 in Proverbs, then we go on a couple of other places. You know your brother. Amen. I refuse to go before my people talking about thus what Yah said, and I don't have a book, that you can come behind me and be able to, trust. I want you to trust that I would never lead you astray with Yah's word. I don't have a heart to lead you astray, period. With or without his word. But I would never lead you astray with Yah's word because Yah would judge me. But I also know that you have a responsibility. Each of us have a responsibility to vet the word. What does the vet the word means? Go behind, check, trust but verify. Line upon line, Isaiah said, precept on precept. Some over here, some over there, all of it coming together. So that you know, that you know, that you know. So that we know, that we know, that we know. But the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 20, says, wisdom cries without. She utters her voice in the streets. Wisdom cries without. If I was to interpret what that means that wisdom has no boundaries, but at the same time, wisdom sometimes has no audience. In other words, people won't listen to wisdom. Many won't. She utters her voice in the street. She cries in the chief place of concourse. In the openings of the gates. In the city, she utters her words, saying, how long will you simple ones? How long, you simple ones? How long, you simple ones? Simple in this word means, thinking like a child. Acting, some would say, a fool. Like we have no common sense. Say, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? Loving simplicity. You see the correlation with the dream? They wanted to go on the trip, but they didn't want to prepare for that trip. They never took the time to prepare for that trip. They expected to get there at the expense of someone else. Someone else do all the heavy lifting while they just ride along. Someone meet all their needs while they just ride along. Isn't that the way many of our people treat Yahuwah? He knows my heart. Yeah, he knows that many of our people are lazy-hearted, selfish, simplistic, distracted, lovers of pleasure. And they forget Yahuwah until a crisis comes. And then all of a sudden, I need a pair of pants. You got an extra bottle of water? Can I borrow $3? But he said, how long, verse 22 again, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning. You know what the scorners are, brothers and sisters? For you, who the new ones among us. I know we have some well-informed sisters and brothers out there, highly educated. I listen to some of your teachings and your lessons. So I told you know what a scorn is. But there's some of us who don't know what a scorn is. You go ask the average person, what's a scorn? They're going to look at you, I don't know, what is that? So our job is to sometimes it's to break things down, grind it to powder, break it down to the smallest, ingredient. If you're a chef, what's in that? Salt and pepper. But a scorner is someone who is always complaining, never happy, never satisfied. That's a scorner. And he says, and the scorners delight in scorning. They love to hear themselves talking about somebody else. Love to hear themselves talking about what somebody else didn't do, what someone else does not understand. It's just not my fault. You don't understand, it's not my fault. Well, Yah understands that if we obey him, we won't have to be scorning anybody. Because his word, his truth will guide us and lead us to all righteousness. And guess what's at the end of righteousness? His blessings and his prosperity. So the scorner scorns just because he or she, they're bitter. They always have been bitter. That's scorning. And the fools hate knowledge. Wow. Now this is Proverbs. This is written by King Solomon. At the time he lived, he was the wisest man on this flat earth. The four corners of this earth. Let me say it the right way. And possibly there's no one who's ever superseded him. Ever. That lived in a human body that was born of the earth. Don't get it twisted over here. I'm not talking about Jesus over here. Just for the record, I want to be clear. I'm just saying. That was a promise given to him when he was appointed king by his father and then blessed of Yahuwah. But Solomon says, or the book he writes, he said, "A fool hates knowledge." What does that mean? You can't tell him anything. You can tell them, be prepared, get ready, it's coming. You got everything that you need for the journey. They'll say, yeah, I'm getting it. I'll get it. I got it. I'm going to take care of tomorrow. I'm going to take care of Friday when I get paid. I'm going to take care of week after next, after I pay my rent. And Yah is saying, no, it's not then. Tomorrow's not promised. I'm talking about now. Now is the time. Today is the day. What am I talking about? I'm talking about when knowledge is in front of you, brothers and sisters. When knowledge comes, we should be treating knowledge as it relates to the Torah, Yah's word. We should be treating knowledge as this is Yahuwah talking to me. Not Sister Maya or Brother DFG or, Sister V with Open Diary. And I bring those sisters' name up because, in all truth, we may not agree on everything and it relates to, to doctrine. But we do agree with love for Yah and Yah's people. And we are studying, and we are growing, and we are learning. And that's more than what many people who scorn us do. But he said, fools hate knowledge. Verse 23. He says, turn you at my reproach or at my warning. Behold, I will pour out my rahuk unto you, and I will make known my words unto you. But you have to turn. What do you mean by turn? It means stop doing what you're doing, my brothers. Sister, stop doing what you're doing. Stop doing what you're doing, my brother, and listen. Sister, stop doing what you're doing and listen. Stop. Well, I can multitask. I can do 3 things at a time. That's how you feel about Yah's word? That's how you feel about your creator? That you're just gonna, you can, how you say, walk and chew gum at the same time? So you're going to lower him down to less than you? When Yah is speaking, look, brothers and sisters. When Yah voice, to hear Yah voice, our ancestors can tell you this, would be like the roaring of a tsunami. Never heard that one before. Never heard a roaring of a tsunami. I can imagine what it could sound, the ocean coming in on you. The roaring of thunder, the roar of a building imploding, a nuclear bomb going off. His voice is so powerful when he speaks that it caused our people to fear and want to die. They literally told Moses, no, we don't want to hear his voice. You speak. That's the respect they have for Yah's voice. And we have people, when we're sharing the word, or anybody for that matter is sharing the word with them, they don't give their full attention to it. They'll watch television, or they'll be cooking and or they'll be cleaning and Do you realize what that looks like before the angels of Yah? Do you realize what that looks like before Yah? And then you wonder why you don't feel the power of Yah in these critical times that we're in, or why you're missing key, pieces of information. As you go minute by minute, hour by hour in your life, only to find yourself in a situation of regret somewhere down the road. Find yourself, in circumstances that not only did you not anticipate, but that you were not prepared for. Have you at least considered, again, the ox knows its master, the ass knows its owner? My people won't consider. Have you at least considered that these things are happening to you because you are too busy being busy about everything but Yah? Or you believe that you can take Yah's word and marginalize the word down, or boil it down to a thin gravy where you can say, well, I hear that, but I need to get these onions and I need to get these other things done too. So call me back a little bit later, or I'll call you back, and then we can talk about Yah's word. Then I can hear what Yah is trying to say to me. Horrible attitude. Matter of fact, worse than horrible. If you allow your brother to say it in the spirit of the root of love, that is detrimental, self-compromising, and someone, I think I could even go as far as say suicidal. When Yah speaks, brothers and sisters, we have to listen. We have to give him our undivided attention if we want to make sure we are ready when the trumpet sounds, or we are ready. And I'm using trumpet. Don't take this to mean something. I'm just saying when he signals us, it's time. It's time to leave. It's time to go. However that sound might be, whether it be a trumpet or just a voice, or the purge siren goes off. Pull down your windows. Lock your door. Lock your gate. Lock your car. Let's continue here, brothers and sisters. He goes on to say, but I will pour out my ruach unto you, and I will make known my words to you. But because I have called, I'm adding but. Verse 24, because I have called and you refused. Get that. These same brothers and sisters of Israel who are telling us they love Israel, Elohim, Yahuwah said, I'm calling you, I'm trying to pass my knowledge or information on to you, but you were too busy to listen. You were too preoccupied. You were distracted. You said, because I have called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and you didn't take it. But you have said at naught at council. You have the arrogance to talk at my council. You have arrogance. You have the arrogance to question me. Excuse me, that's what he's saying. He said, I called for you. I reached for you. You were too busy for me. And now you have the audacity to say, I have abandoned you. That I haven't fulfilled your request of me. He said, and would not listen to my reproof or his correction. He said, for this reason, I will laugh at your calamity. What is calamity? Here's an easy way to say it, brothers and sisters. Calamity means when everything's all screwed up and everything's all messed up and you don't know if you're coming or going. You're following, your body has failed you, your resources have failed you, your family has failed you, your job has failed you. Everything is just in a total mess. A poop show. A total poop show. Doo-doo show, whatever word you want to use. I'm not going to be vulgar here. He said when it's that bad, when things are just horrific and just messed up in your life, and you call on me, you want my attention, I'm going to treat you just like you treated me when I was trying to get your attention. I'm going to laugh at you. And you say, well, I never laughed. I was just busy. And as Yah interpret this, and I feel very confident I can speak on behalf of this. When we ignore Yah, that's our way of laughing at Yah. When we're too busy to give Yah our attention, that's our way of laughing at Yah, mocking him. Who are you? Well, you think that you're more important for me to stop cooking dinner for my husband. Who are you? Well, you think you're more important for me, not to, I don't know, go to the ball game. Who are you? Well, you think I should, stop, and not go take my family out Christmas shopping. I don't know, maybe if you stopped and listened, you wouldn't be taking your family out to go Christmas shopping. But that ain't my call. But I wanted to share that because, it happens and it is happening to us all the time. We really think that we can refuse knowledge, that we can just turn our heads to Yah, and then Yah is supposed to hear us when we cry out to him. And I'm saying to you, brothers, and I want to give it to you, sisters, with the book. I want to show you in the book that he says, when your trouble comes, he said, if you don't make him first, and first doesn't mean, well, when I wake up in the morning, I pray, and when I go to bed at night, I pray, and I think about him all day. That's not making him first. That is not making Yah first. That's not making Yahuwah first. Making Yahuwah first, where you dedicate, a portion of every day of your existence, seeking out his will and seeking out his purpose and living out his Torah. Seeking out his will, seeking out his purpose, living out his Torah. I'm going to say it to you again. Seeking out his will for you, seeking out his purpose for you, and living out or obeying his Torah. Now that might be something you want to write down, brothers and sisters. I apologize. I see the book is thick, and my office, the desk is kind of a little bit better situated than times past, and so if you don't mind seeing scripture and tabs and old worn out cipher, praise you, because that's what you're gonna see. Because This is my first love. I love y'all more than anything on this earth. I love y'all more than my family. I love y'all more than money. I love y'all more than my health. I love y'all more than I love y'all more than my mind. I love y'all more than teaching y'all's people, believe it or not. And I love teaching y'all's people. I love him with my everything. And we all should feel this way. There comes a point in time that differences have to be put aside. There comes a time where great repentance needs to come up and happen before Yah's people. Great repentance. And when you say great repentance, that means that we have to really look deep inside of ourselves and deal with those things inside of ourselves that we know that are unpleasing to Yah in regards to how we treat one another and how we feel about each other. Great repentance. And I will tell you, sisters and brothers, except you do that, you're going to be just like those people in my dream that when we halfway to the trip, they started, hollering and crying and complaining. Well, they weren't crying, but they were complaining and hollering and expecting, me to have thought about everything they need or needed when they could have done that themselves, and we could have had a pleasurable trip and reached our destination in time. Because according to my dream, we didn't get there. We, the people in that van, didn't get there. And he explained to me how that happened so that it doesn't actually happen. Even myself. You can't be everything to everybody, DFG. You can only be what I called you to be. And that's going to have to be enough. And brothers and sisters, I'll say the same thing to you all. You can't be everything to everybody. You can only be the best that you could be according to what Yah has put in your hands. And when you've done that, then you need to rest. In other words, turn to Yah and look to Yah's word, his statutes, laws, and commandment, and focus over there. Find your strength, your regeneration. Just go over there and leave the rest to Elohim, including them. He'll judge it. But again, let's go to the word because, I showed you that if we don't make time for Yah, if we don't prepare, we don't listen to the messengers that Yah has put before us, and we ignore it, and we don't prepare, as he has told us to get prepped, to get ready. And if you're following this particular channel, brothers and sisters, I'm very confident I've been talking about this since 2015, 2016. Easy. Getting ready. And there were a few people out there saying, I'm listening, I'm getting ready. And there were scoffers out there, scoffers. You know what a scoffer is? Yeah, whatever, bro. Yeah, whatever. I ain't got no time for all that. Nah. I'm going to buy me, some new tennis shoes. I'm going to buy me a new bag. I'll deal with that when I deal with that. Oh, I got some money coming when I get my tax returns, and I'll buy my water then. But they didn't. Most of them. It was just a way to say, "Go away, leave me alone. You're bothering me. You're trying to make me afraid." And then halfway up the road, calamity comes. Calamity. And we already discussed what calamity is. Somewhere down your road, somewhere up the road, their road, calamity will come. And then you're going to be exposed for not listening, not taking heed, thinking that it was important, but I don't have to do it right now. When I was a kid, whenever you did something you weren't supposed to do, an elder would come and say, you got caught with your pants down. And it wasn't for vulgarity purpose. It was telling you, now you're in a world of poop. Doesn't have to be that way. These voices are here. These voices are a representation that Elohim, Yah, is here, Israel. How long will we ignore this? How long will we be busy being busy? But in all of that busyness, it doesn't get us any closer to the destination. Moving fast, but going nowhere. Traveling fast, but going nowhere. It is Yah's word and Yah's messengers who are put in play to help us reach our destination that He has ascribed for us. And when we are too busy not preparing ourselves, we create a hostile environment for ourselves and ultimately get left behind. 2/3 of Israel is not going to make it in, brothers and sisters. And here's what's ironic. Here's what's strange about it. Here's what's surprising about it. 2/3 of our people are not going to make it in. Yet strangers who are not Israel are going to make it. How odd is that? The people of the promise, 2/3 not going to make it, and the people who the promise was never intended to be for will. Because Yah is just. He is merciful. And if they love Yah and they demonstrate everything that we are held accountable for demonstrating, and it reflects in our obedience, it doesn't matter what the 12 chart says and those, rabble-rousers are talking about on the street corners. Yah said the stranger's going to be there. If they knew the book, they would know that. If they weren't cherry-picking. I'm going to get the part I like and the part I don't like, I ain't going to hear you tell me nothing about. I don't want to hear nothing about that, brother. Yeah, well. You'll regret it. But let's go to the book of Numbers, the Torah, for validation, precepts. And I'm going to go through this relatively fast, brothers and sisters. Praise Yahuwah. Can you make the time for the word? Just a question. Not criticizing you. Can you make the time? I'll get to it when I get off. Yeah, when you get off and go home, eat and go to sleep. Then you'll get to it tomorrow, right? Numbers chapter 11. And when the people complained, the book of Numbers chapter 11. And when the people complained, it displeased Yahuwah. Remember I talked to the scorners out there? The complainers, they're always complaining about something. It's always somebody else's fault, like in my dream. I can't believe, DFG, you didn't have everything that we never thought of for this trip when you were just the driver of the van. The scorners. How could you know that I didn't need that? How could you not know, I didn't need that? It wasn't my responsibility to know, it was yours. My responsibility was to set up everything for the trip. To take us there. Your job was to put yourself in a situation where you'll be comfortable traveling along with us. Just like Yah said with our deliverance. He's going to do his part, but brothers and sisters, you have a part to do too. And if you're distracted, you're not going to be prepared. When the day of calamity comes, when the crisis comes, when your biggest need appears, you're going to find yourself short, falling short of it. Didn't have to be that way. It shouldn't be that way. But for 2/3 of Israel, it's going to be that way. And not because Yah is angry at us in terms. That's not why the two-thirds not going to make it, because of their own rebellion. It wasn't Yah being vengeful. It was us being, rebellious. Again, he wasn't important enough for us, for those of us who fall into that group. I'm only using us because, as I'm talking about us as a people, surely not applying that to myself. Every day I wake up in the morning, just a quick little testimony, my goal is to be in the 1/3. Every day. Not sometimes. Every single day, my goal is to be in the 1/3. And yes, I labor to be there. And I'm willing to labor to be there. And I'm not complaining of that labor. Quite frankly, I feel honored. If I can labor out for these heathens for 30 some odd years in corporate America, surely. And they can offer me nothing but meager, what they call money. That's to be taken in their hand and put in somebody else's hand, just so I can sustain myself. If I can do all that for them, how could I not ever, ever, ever consider, doing this for Elohim, who that everything that I give unto him, he's going to give back to me, according to his word, 100-fold. And no, I'm not quoting Mark, I'm quoting the book, the promise of Elohim, making a man rich and has no sorrow with it. Amen? That's Proverbs. David said, I've been young, and now I am an old man, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken, or their children being beggars. That's book. That's Yah's word. Hallelujah. And the word, in this case, beggar means destitute. Destitute. Not what the world would consider poor, talking about destitute. They have nothing. I mean, literally nothing. Talking about the children, not the adults. Our book says that a workman is worthy of his meat. If you're an adult and you don't have nothing, then go look in the mirror. You're doing something wrong. Go fix it. He's talking about the children. Shall we continue? Hallelujah. Brothers and sisters, I hope this message is resonating with you. Again, it came to me the way it came to me. Everything that I'm doing right now, I saw flashes of it. Even the scripture even told me what scripture to go to share with you. Everything that's going on at this very moment is what I saw. I had the dream, and then I had the vision that came behind the dream. You're hearing the vision. Yah's vision for us. He wants us to see this. Amen. I hope you do your part to make sure this video goes along. Thumb it up, pass it along, share it, whatever you think you need to do. I'm sure someone out there needs to hear this, if not you. I know I need to hear it. Continuing on. Let's start again. The book of Numbers, chapter 11. And when the people complained, it displeased, it angered Yahuwah. And Yahuwah heard it. And his anger was kindled. And the fire of Yahuwah burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. So all these people talking about they're going into these camps, and that's where they're going to find their safety, in these camps. These camps. Let me say it again, camps. Like, we're part of a camp. We GMS. That's the whomever. Straight with. We were in these camps. Go to a camp. Come out. Go into a camp. Well, the fire came in the camp. Because guess what? Inside them camps, there's a lot of murmuring, a lot of ignorance, a lot of blaspheming, a lot of cunningness, and what have you. Ain't no camp nowhere on the four corners of this earth where Yah's fire won't come. If he came in the camp where Moses was, he's going to come in the camp where Nathaniel is, in any other camp, if wickedness is there. If liars are in those camps. Those who are using those, people in those camps to enrich themselves. Taking advantage of women in these camps, men in these camps, children in these camps, under the name of, that's what the book said, the book said it. The book says a whole lot of things. And most people get it wrong. Because they're walking after carnalness, they're walking after the lust of their flesh, the desires of their flesh, and not the truth of Yahuwah. But after all, like them, what did Jesus say? I don't know what he said. I know what Yahuwah said. Oh, I know what he said. Don't get me wrong. I've studied that part of, this book more years than most people probably listening to this video been alive. 2/3 of my life I've studied that. Studied the whole thing. And I'm still not an expert. But I know who my Savior is. And you can't tell me otherwise. So don't waste your time. Yahuwah is my Savior. Be clear. But he burned the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses. And Moshe prayed unto Yahuwah. And the fire was quenched. And this goes to many of our brothers and sisters. I don't need nobody. I don't need no teachers. I don't need no instructors. I don't need to be a part of no studies. Okay, then when the fire comes down or when your calamity comes, deal with it on your own. When Yah laughs at you, deal with it. Because you see who put this fire out for the people? It was Moshe. Yahuwah did it, but it was due to Moshe crying out, Moses. The lawgiver, the law administrator, and one who was obedient unto the law. Talking about Moses. And y'all heard him. I'll say it to you, my brothers and sisters out there. Line yourself up with a leader who loves Yahuwah and obeys his laws, statutes, and commandments as it is in him to do it. And make sure he has the book open, the law, the Torah in hand, as he administers justice and righteousness among Yah's people. Trust but verify. Don't get caught up with it like the world. I don't need nobody. Only, the fools that end up dying before their time, only God can judge me. He did judge them. That's why they're in the cemetery. Most of them probably down burning somewhere in the fire. Worms eating them. That's their judgment. They were right. Yes, Yah could judge them. And he judged them harshly. The same way he judged these people in the camp with that fire. Playing games with Elohim as though he is a man. He's a jealous Elohim. And he does not play with men. None of us. Doesn't care about how fine you are, sister, how pretty your hair is, and how much, how many times you go in your meditation. He will burn your butt to crisp playing with him. And same thing with you, brothers. Your big arms, your big chest, and your nice bank account, he'll take it all from you. Or better yet, he'll burn you to a crisp and he'll let strangers spin it. Better yet, waste it. While you're so busy loving on it. Identifying who you are with it. High-mindedness, arrogance, puffed up, haughty-minded. Lovers of pleasure. But no time for Yahuwah. Oh, I forgot Sunday church. Let me correct myself. Baal worshiping, sun worshiping on a day ascribed by pagans who had one intention, and that is to destroy all of Israel. That's where you're going to find Yah. right, how they were saying, out of the skillet into the frying pan. Laying up and standing up and worshiping and praying with heathens, demon-filled heathens, who only 50 years ago would have never stood next to you in some church. Would have told you, niggas over there. Go in the back door. But somehow or another, we're seduced and, it's it's all about love. It's all about love. Well, their Christianity doctrine didn't change 50 years ago. When they had chains around your ancestors' neck and raping their daughters and their sons, they were still Christians, just so you know. And yet they were still saying Yah is no respect of a person except for you. I wonder why. And now you stand right there next to them, petitioning on their behalf, arguing on their behalf, calling us unrighteous because we're saying come out from among them. Come out, quit, at least, don't practice their religions, their customs, their traditions. And don't worship Baal with them on Sundays, or any other day for that matter, with them. Don't practice their customs. Jeremiah warned us that in Jeremiah 10, 1 and 2. Do not follow the ways of the heathens. Their ways are vain, vanity. In other words, their way is a waste of time for Israel. For them, their gods will bless them. But their gods also made them a bunch of greedy dogs. Can never have enough. No matter what they got, they want more. And when they can't have it, they will kill, steal, and destroy to get it. And now they're teaching our men and women to be just like them. How sad. How sad. And many of you brothers out there, men out there, it's going to fall back on you, brother. You have to teach your children. You have to teach your children the truth of Yah's word. Don't let this fall back on you by doing what you done. Well, mom and my dad had me in church. My mom and dad had me in a Catholic church. Me and my other 7 siblings. We were doing Easter, Christmas, and you name it. Yet most of the time our house was a hellhole house. Just being honest about it. Time to wake up, Israel. Open our eyes. Prepare ourselves. Come out from among them. Be you separate. Don't touch their uncleanness. When he say don't touch the unclean thing, do not practice their custom is what he's saying. We just talked about that over in the book of in Proverbs. When the knowledge came, we don't want the knowledge. I don't like the knowledge because the knowledge is gonna cause me to lose out on some influence in my home. My children ain't gonna love me if I don't buy them toys for Christmas. My wife is not going to love me if I don't take her to dinner for Valentine's Day. My husband is not going to love me if I don't celebrate his birthday. I hope that Yah will open up our eyes as a nation and understand that that has nothing to do with love. That is not love, brothers and sisters. That's imitation. Yahuwah is love. Salvation is love. Things that cannot be taken away or burned away or these can't take from you. Yeah, can't be taken. Can't be burned. Can't be erased. Love is eternal. That's why it's Yahuwah who is the ultimate love. And those of us who follow him, we are in love with him and with those that he has chosen. The righteous, those who accept his judgment, those who keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's who he wants us to love. Because we're a family of lovers. We love Yah. We all have the same loving Father, and we all love him just the same. And he loves us even more. We're in the last days. We don't have more time. Somebody's going to leave this planet today. It's just the four corners. Somebody going to drop out. Today. Somebody's going to drop out somewhere today. Probably somebody you know. Possibly you. We don't have time to waste, brothers and sisters. Children, that includes you as well. Whether mommy and daddy know you're listening to DFG or not, I'm talking to you too. You can read. Get your book. Go get mommy, daddy book. You'll find it's probably sitting somewhere ain't been open in years. Okay. Let's go on. Verse 3. And he called the name of the place T.I.E, because the fire of Yahuwah burned among them. And a mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Yahuwah also wept again. Now think about it. Y'all burned these people up. The fire came into camp, and you think that would have been enough for them to straighten themselves out. How many times we have gone through things, brothers and sisters, and we say, I'll never do that again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Lord, Lord, oh Lord, you healed my body, Lord, I'm done. I'm finished with this, I'm done. Give it 3 months, they're back right out there doing the same thing they were doing that got them in the situation in the first place. Or if nothing else, encouraging somebody else to do it. Well, people got to live their life. He said they went lusting again. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? Who should give us food to eat? Who should give us? Now, brothers and sisters, does that not sound like Israel? Always looking over to the enemy to bail us out. Always looking over to the enemy for some type of, assistance. And I'm a pro-reparations guy. But I'm a realist too. I'm not going to sit around here and wait for the reparations and starve to death. I'm not going to be laying out in the street because this system is so screwed up. Yeah, it's screwed up. It's against us. Yeah, we're warned. Psalms 83. They're in confederate against us so that the name of Israel be no more. Yeah, we all get it. We get it. We get it. But you don't believe Yah saves? You don't believe Yahuwah delivers? You don't believe that Yahuwah can rain manna from the sky? The problem Israel has is we're too puffed up sometimes. Y'all give us a nickel, we want a quarter. Give us a quarter, we want $1. Give us $1, we want $10. But after all, that's what the heathens say is special. Makes us important. And we'll do anything to get it too, I might add. And we'll say anything against anyone who refuses to give it to us. Who gonna give me something to eat? Back to the dream. Why didn't you prepare for the journey when you were told we were going on a trip? You know we're at the end. We've been warning you for years. Prepare, get prepped, get material, get together. Women, get in environments where you can be protected and be safe. Brothers, get among other brothers so y'all can help protect those you love and yourselves. Some of us are making big adjustments at this very time because Yah said, no. What you're doing is it's not going to work. When things go really, really bad, you're going to have to make some adjustments, and we've made them. Praise Yahuwah. Or in the process of making them. We're listening. What about you, sister? What about you, brother? Don't get halfway down the road and look for somebody to give you a pair of pants because the pants you got on too tight. Oh, you don't have any at all. You soiled them. Pee pooped in them. You had an accident. The world calls it SHTP, a TF. SHTF. That's what the world calls it. I'm not going to use that word. But y'all know what I'm talking about, the acronym. SHTF. Don't look for no pants. Don't look for a change of garment if you didn't bring it with you. Verse 5, remember the fish we did eat in Egypt freely, and the cucumbers, and the melons, and the leeks, and the onions, and the garlics. See, this is a lot of our people. This is Israel right now. Man, I can't wait, to things go back to the way they used to be. I can't wait, till they open the new mall up. Man, I can't wait till the new Jordans come out. Man, I can't wait, till I get my refund check so I can buy my Louis bag. Whatever. I can't wait, to next year so I can go to all the balls. I want to catch all the games. I want my best life now. You're 60 years old talking about catching all the football games. And you don't even have a man. And I don't mean that it's criticism to you. I'm just saying you got your priorities wrong. Now you can black that one out if I offended you, sister. But I did speak the truth. Redaction. Okay? That makes you feel better. Don't run. But it's so much like our people. I used to be, it was better when I was this, it was better when I was that. It was better. Always talking about something that happened in the past. To complain about something that's happening right now. Not realizing that the past is done away with. And I will tell you, brothers and sisters, look around the world. I'm going to stop. I ain't going to stop this, but I'm going to give you, I've been listening. You know what's going on with Iran? OPEC? It's OPEC. OPEC. These are all the petroleum companies. The Organization of Petroleum, can't think of what EC is, but I'm sure some of my brothers can break that down. And that's not the most important thing. But BRICS. And what am I saying? You got all these nations all over Eurasia and South America and Africa forming allegiance or an alliance with one another. And they're going to trade with one another. But there's going to be something distinctly different in that trading. America is not going to be the boss anymore. Europe is not going to be the boss anymore. In other words, they're going to start doing their own thing. And if America and Europe doesn't like it, then they're going to let them starve and freeze to death. And yet you have people over here talking about what's going to happen in 10 years. What you're going to do in 20 years. You're going to buy your house, and you're 25, I want to get my house now. So, by the time I'm 55, my mortgage will be paid. Are you paying attention, brother or sister, what's going on around you? Do you have any idea what's about to happen? Any idea? If you don't, it's probably because you're not in the book. Because the book forewarned us what was going to happen. Revelation 18. In 1 hour, Babylon, the great, the mother of all nations, the one who got the world drunk on her consumerism, capitalism. In 1 hour, will be destroyed. And all the kings around the earth who drank her wine, are now going to have to drink the wrath. They're going to get like these people. Oh, I wish we were still. Oh, I wish we were still in charge. I wish America was still the most dominant country. Oh, I wish America and Europe were still. Brother, sister, That's over. That's the best way I can say. I said to you, that's over. I know that you were told that you weren't going to be a success if you didn't do better than your mama and you didn't do better than your daddy. I know you were told that your whole life. I just want you to be better than me, honey. I just want you to be better than me, son. I want you to do better than me, honey, son. I want to be proud of you. I want you to be proud of yourself. I want all your family to be proud of you. I want to brag to the neighbors about you. It's about pride, honey. It's about pride. Well, it used to be about pride, but now it's going to be about judgment. And where you're going to be found when judgment comes. Or you're going to be out there with your head in the clouds talking about, oh, I wonder, if Santa going to put something, in the stocking or under the tree for me. Or you're going to be on your knees with your face in the book saying, yeah, elevate me. Or I will come down to where you are. I will humble myself. But I will be before you. That way, I don't have to look for nothing in my past for my blessings. My blessings are going to be in front of me constantly, even when I leave this earthly tabernacle, this body. I'm going to transition right into your arms. But here it is again, complaining about what they don't have, what they need, what they want, what's necessary. Never taking into consideration what Yah has provided. They considered it, but it wasn't good enough. All this praying and all this Bible study, brother, and reading the Bible, bro, and the video, bro, that's all good, bro, but I got to, bro, I get tired of that sometimes, bro. I got to get a break, really. Where you going at on your break? Sister, where you going on a break that you need? Just asking for a friend. Where you going? You need a break, where you going? I just got to go to work. All right. People die at work too. Just saying. Let's continue here. Verse 6. But now our soul is dried away, and there is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. In other words, the word of Elohim wasn't good enough. Manna is just the food of Elohim. Just like the word is the food. His word is like food to us. His ruach, our spirit, is like water for us. And for so many of our people, that's not good enough. No. When you talking about Shabbat? Yeah, on Shabbat, yeah. But right now, I'm going to get me some cigarettes and a bottle of wine. Okay. Redaction. Oh, praise Elohim. Black it out. I love my brothers and sisters. I hope y'all, I know my sense of humor can be a little off-center sometimes, but it's still, it's a message for you. Amen? No judgment, just a message. Verse 7, and the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof was the color of bdellium. And the people went about and gathered it, and ground it in mills, and beat it in a mortar. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. And baked it in pans and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil. So it was pretty tasty. And Yah was providing for us. And that wasn't enough. Because we wanted the things of this world. We wanted to do what they were doing. We wanted the things that the heathens had. We didn't want to put our faith in the book. Right? No, not me. Got no time for that. I got to chase that dollar. I got to chase that bag. If I got to go back to Egypt to do it, I'll do it. Forgetting about how harsh it was on our people in Egypt. How brutal. They were killing our firstborn sons. They were raping our daughters. They were throwing our babies into the fire to their gods, to Moloch. They were burying their servants with their pharaohs and their priests and their holy men. They were burying people alive in Egypt, our people, because we were typically their servants. And our people chose that for a piece of bread. And then they got their that talking about Esau, the so-called white man. What about us? I'm damn sure not taking up for them. You know your brother, you know I'm not taking up for them. I'm just saying. What about us? You talking about Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of soup. Hell, most of our people selling their birthright, for a few dollars too. Only time they want to be around Elohim is some heathen celebrated day. Not y'all celebrated day. The heathen celebrated day. That's the only time. If the heathen say go to church or go to this kind of church or practice this custom or spend your money at this time of the year or you know what I'm saying, or show up at this particular time of the day, they'll do it gladly. Don't you love your football team? Don't you love them? Huh? Yeah. Buy your ticket today, sister. Buy your ticket today, brother. It's only $70. Sit up in the Terrence. You want a good seat? It's only $150. You want to go to the basketball game? But if a sincere brother or sister needs your assistance, you follow me? So that they can continue to do the heavy lifting, the works of the Moses out here. Oh, no, I ain't doing that. Don't then. But don't be surprised one day you wake up and see all that, those onions and stuff that you missed, all that loot you trying to hold on to, it ain't gonna be able to help you. And see those ones who you look down upon, who were doing the work of Elohim. I'm talking about sincerely doing the work of Elohim. When you cry out to them, Yah's gonna tell them real clear, don't you dare answer that phone. Don't you dare go over there. Don't you dare give them a encouraging word. It's about priorities. It's about putting Yah first and accepting Yah's provision and understanding that's enough. I don't need what this world has if I have Elohim. But brother, what you're saying, a man got to work. You just said if a man don't work, a man needs to work. A woman needs to be there and do her work. Whatever that might be, dear sisters. I'm not relegating you to the house. Whatever your work is your work. But be sure that you're doing it unto Elohim, same as you meant. Not to stack it up, go on shopping sprees, or waste it in the heathens' arenas, looking at modern day gladiators breaking up their bodies for applause. Verse 10, then Moses heard the people cry throughout their families. There'll be a lot of crying in these families, brothers and sisters. Especially if you're not prepared. Again, sometimes when you got to give somebody bad news and you really don't want to give them that bad news, so you want to just kind of look off instead of like looking them in the face because you know you're going to hurt as much as they're hurt. When you see they're hurt, you're going to hurt, and you just kind of look off. That's how I feel sometimes. That's how I felt just a second ago. I looked off because I felt like what I was saying, someone is going to be experiencing if you're not already experiencing it. I guess I was trying to avoid your pain. Because inside of your pain is mine. Inside of my pain is yours. If we're one in Elohim. It's just the truth, sisters and brothers. And take off the scales. Take off the shield. Take off the armor. You know what I'm saying? Open up your heart to each other. What I mean by that, I'm not talking about no lovey-dovey, why can't we all get along? No, I'm talking about open up the heart to understand that we are all in this struggle together. That Yah loves Israel. We are the apple of Israel's eye. Yeah, the world don't want to hear this news. It's appalling to them now. You know, and they took, in my opinion, the least prepared among us and put them on these platforms and let them talk on these national platforms and let them talk themselves right into snares. And then they start getting names like racial idolatry and, you know, and what's the other one? They love polygamy. And what's the other one? They love, you know, the small, little tiny mustache, you know, Christian white guy who was Time Magazine Man of the Year in 1934, I believe, that walked around sticking his damn hand out all the time like that. Stirring up the hornet's nest under the guise of loving the people. And right now before you, my brothers and sisters, they are not our leaders. They lead who they lead, but they are not the leaders of Israel. They lie publicly. If you knew your book, you would have heard the lies they were telling. And still continue to tell, bragging about it. One of them devils couldn't wait to get back to his camp and get back with his men. He talked about it for 3 days. I was on Fearless. I like Jason Whitlock. Jason telling you he's a heathen Christian right to everybody's face. Jason Whitlock is not pretending that he ain't no damn heathen Christian. He tells them that. And this guy said he ain't no Christian, that they're not Christians. But I'll go back, I'll debate somebody, and I'll get Jason Whitlock. Sisters, just tolerate me for this, please. I'm sorry. I know I'm off, but just tolerate me because I just... It's harmful to the people when the people think that a lie is the truth and the truth is a lie. And this so-called righteous man of Yah, Yah's pastor, nobody knows more than him. That's a lie. I know more than you, dog. But nobody knows more than me. Nobody knows more than me. I'll debate anybody and I'll get, the mediator will be, guess who? Guess who I want to mediate? Guess who I want to oversee the debate? The moderator. Guess who I want to moderate? I'll debate John MacArthur. I'll debate, Benny Hinn. I'll debate Nathaniel. I'll debate anybody. But guess I want to be my moderator. Yahuwah, right, brother? You want Yahuwah to be the moderator, right? Right? Yahuwah is the moderator. He's the one who discerns truth from lie. Right? Oh, no. I want Jason Whitlock. You talking about the Christian heathen? Who professes to be a Christian heathen? I digress. Now, if that ain't enough for you brothers and sisters, go in his camp, and when that fire come in that camp and start the burning, just remember you were warned. DFG, are you calling out, judgment on these people? No, I'm telling you what the book said. The fire, I just read to you where the fire came into the camp because they were in there lusting and lying and building up treasures amongst themselves for themselves. I just read that to you. I can go back if you like me to. Real fast, and we're almost done. And when the people complained, it displeased Yahuwah, and Yahuwah heard it. And his anger was kindled, and the fire of Yahuwah burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. So they couldn't even hide in their camp. Y'all don't respect camps. Y'all acknowledge the truth. His word is truth. You can get in front of a whole bunch of people and tell people that, clearly Caucasian, clearly people from the Caucasus Mountains, clearly Asian. He even said it. We got white, we got Asian, clearly. I'm not talking about Asians who are Israelites who are scattered all over. No, I'm talking about, pale-skinned, bloodline attachment, Asians and Caucasians. And he said they were Israelites. Even said the Israelites had melanated skin, the same man. And then later on in that same program, said Caucasians and Asians, because he had them all over the world that were part of his camp, they were Israelites too. Which one is it? Can't be two. Now you're between two places. How long will you be between two places? Remember, isn't that not what Elijah told, Israel when he went before them with those prophets of Baal? Did not he ask Israel, how long will you be between two places? If Baal be God, you guys worship Baal. But if Yahuwah is Elohim, then worship Elohim. This guy is between two places. And I know why he's between two places, because he's getting a lot of Caucasian money from them people who gave him all of their property and all of their resources. Because after all, the book of Acts told him to do that. Yet according to our book, if you go back and you read the laws and the statutes of Elohim, all of our men had inheritance, and they kept their inheritance. They had to pass their inheritance down to their children. That's what the firstborn, the birthright comes into play. How were they giving everything away, and then when they had their own children, they had nothing to give their children? Now, that ain't book. But he goes over to the so-called New Testament, and he steals over there. And he plants that lie and say, everybody, we're doing like the church did, in Antioch. Oh, I know the story, dog. I know about Sapphira and with the two, little ones claiming, lied and kept a little bit of their stuff, and fire came down and killed. I know all of that silliness, brother. I taught it. Taught it while you were jumping out of airplanes in the military. We're called and we're set up into tribes because of inheritance and a whole lot of other things, my brother. When you going to teach that? Anyway, not about him. It's about our behavior. He's just a perfect example of how the truth can be distorted, brothers and sisters, when we don't study. We don't get around educated teachers, my sisters. And we just take for granted, well, it doesn't matter. Yah will show me. No, Yah will guide you. Just like he guided our people out of Egypt, out of that bondage. He used a man to guide us out of there. A warrior. One who had the strength to fight. One who had the strength to kill. One who had the wisdom to avoid danger. And one who had the heart, or one who had a heart to pray and ask Yah to not hold it against his people when his people had fallen into selfishness and vanity. Oh, I can read it. Let's go. Right, real fast and we're done. Praise Yahuwah. And his anger was kindled greatly, and Moses was also displeased at these people complaining, murmuring. And Moshe said unto Yahuwah, wherefore have you afflicted your servant? So Yahuwah, why is this falling on me? You asked me to lead these people, and I'm doing what you've asked me to do, and now they're over there complaining and wanting to turn back. They want their old lives back. They want the old ways back. They want to be able to go out and party and hang out and do their celebration. They want all of that back. They want cheap prices, low. They want cheap gas, y'all. They want to be able to afford their mortgages, y'all. They want to be able, to make enough money to pay off their college loans, y'all. Yeah. This is all the stuff, y'all. They're complaining, y'all. And none of these things are not, they have been detached from this stuff, y'all, but it's still in their hearts. Yeah. You took them out of Egypt, but you didn't take Egypt out of them. And now, you're angry with them. I'm angry with them. I don't know what to do. And Moshe said unto Yahuwah, wherefore have you afflicted your servant? Verse 11. And wherefore have I not found favor in your sight, that you laid the burden of all these people upon me? Why I have to carry all their burdens, Elohim? This is Moses. And this is how many of us feel. Especially when it comes down to family members, the people we care about. Some people that we profess to love when they're in rebellion. And we're coming at them and saying, here, look, you got to save your soul. Look, you got to take care of these babies. You can't, this thing is going to end. It's going to fall down. And you guys are going to be, in a poop storm. It's going to go bad. I don't believe in all. It doesn't matter if you don't believe. I believe in the universe. It doesn't matter. You can believe whatever you want to believe. It doesn't make it the truth. You believe in something somebody told you to believe instead of believing the truth. I believe in just a universal God of love. But you're not going to acknowledge the universal God of death all around you. Where that one at? If you haven't, I'm using that word God. If there's a universal God of love, brothers and sisters, then it's got to be a universal God of death, right? Of hatred, right? Of pain, right? And of suffering, right? So if the universal God of love can't stop the universal God of hate and suffering and pain and death and misery, then I'm not interested in that universal God of love. Because he can't do nothing. He's weak, or she's weak. She can't stop it. And she has no plan to stop it. Or he. I'm talking about what they believe. But I believe in the one creator, Elohim, who has the power over life and over death. The one who we have a roadmap that clearly states what would happen. And to this very day has not been disproven as it is written in the book. The very book that our people don't want to study. Our people don't want to read. Our people don't want to give their undivided attention to. But he's there and he's real. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Doesn't matter what anybody believes. There's going to be no atheists in the lake of fire. And there won't be any atheists in the world to come where there are blessings. So at the end of the day, believe whatever you want to believe. That's your right to believe it. Doesn't make it true. How long were you simple-minded? Love simplicity. Hallelujah. Verse 12. Have I conceived all these people? He's saying, are these my children? What was his wife's name? I think at the time he had two. Can't even think of their names right now. But he said, these ain't my babies. I ain't had this many children with these women. 2 million plus of these out here. Oh, I'm sorry, you just killed a bunch of them otherwise. So I guess, maybe 1 million, I don't know, something. That ain't mine. Why am I burdened with them? Back to my dream. Why am I responsible for packing your suitcase on a vacation that you want to go on? And why am I responsible for packing the food that you wanted to eat? And you knew you were coming and going. Say, have I conceived all these people? Have I begotten them? That you should say unto me, carry them in your bosom, as a nursing father bears a baby child, unto the land which you swore to their fathers? Moses was saying, well, look, you said that you had a land of milk and honey for them. You said that there will be a place where they can prosper and strive and be, a people unto him, and he could be a Elohim unto them. But now they out here longing for religion, longing for Egypt, longing for the past. Although the past was a total disaster for them. But they like it better than what they got now because it's boring. It's not enough excitement. I need action. So what am I to do with them, Elohim? Let's continue. When should I have flesh to give these people? They want meat. You didn't provide meat, Elohim. You provide manna for them. I am not able to bear this people alone because it is too heavy for me. And if you will deal thus with me, then kill me, I pray you, out of hand, if I have found favor in your sight, and let me not see my wretchedness. In other words, he said, take me out of this misery. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, gather to me 70 men of the elders of Israel, Yasharel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and the officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the assembly, that we may stand there with you. And I will come down and talk with you there. And I will take of the ruach which is upon you, and I will put it upon them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with you, that you bear it not yourself alone. That's what I was saying earlier. There's sisters out there that are bringing out the word. And I just bring it out because it's the truth. Again, I'm not saying, there's a total alignment and understanding. Understanding comes with dedication and learning and a willingness to grow. You can teach somebody how to do something, but what you can't teach them to be motivated to learn how to do something. Skills can be taught. Motivation has to come from within. And anyone who's motivated to study the scripture, motivated to accept what the truth and learn and increase their knowledge, wherever they may be falling short in time, they will get there too. Y'all will. And that's what Yah is doing with Moses. He said, okay, look, this is too much for you, so I'm going to send you some help, mate. I'm going to send you help. But it's going to get done. If you guys bear, I'll give you a couple more scriptures and we're done. We'll get done. And say unto the people, sanctify yourselves tomorrow, and you shall eat the flesh. Y'all saying you want the past? You want to go back to the past? You long for the past? You forgot how wretched and how bad things were in your past? Okay. All right. So you want flesh? Okay, you're going to eat it. And he said, you shall not eat 1 day or 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month until it come out of your nose. You heard right. In other words, they're going to be throwing it up, regurgitating, vomiting that meat out of their nose. It's like the pig going back to the mud and the dog goes back to the vomit. Y'all said you don't know how to be content, and I'm gonna let you go so far out there that when you're gonna strangle on your own vomit. He said, you want to believe these lies, these paganism, you want to practice the ways of heathen, I'm gonna let you stay out there until they destroy you. You love their custom, their traditions, you love their mandates, then I'm gonna let you obey their mandates until it cause your body to fail you. Think the last 2.5 years and what we were sold as a bag of goods, and look at the results that it's having right now. Some of the people know some of them are admitting it, some of them refuse to acknowledge it, but it ain't changing the fact. You made the decision, you chose to listen to the heathens, you chose to trust the science, and now the science is saying, well, we didn't know, I don't know yet. They can't prove it. That's your science. That's the vomit now coming out the nose. Trusting the system of man versus trusting Elohim. But there's many other things. That's not just that. Many, many, many other things. Many other things. I can push it on, the gender, with the sexual identification, the agenda, you know what I'm saying, with, choosing who can live and who can die in the womb. Whole bunch of things out there. Not taking any consideration how Yah feels about it. My body, my choice. Well, your body, your choice, your decision, your consequences. But Yah doesn't change. It's like he was not pleased with the arrogance of the people then. He's not pleased with the arrogance of our people now. And if we don't get ourselves prepared, brothers and sisters, get ready, Jacob's trouble, Israel's trouble, it's going to be the loudest thing you hear. Rachel's troubles, Rachel's weeping, it's going to be the loudest sound you hear. Rachel weeping, that's the wife of Israel. And Jacob troubled, that is Israel. So sisters, if you think that somehow or another your men going to take the hit and you're not taking the hit right along with them, sorry but not sorry. Yes, you are going to take the hit with us. Brothers, if you think that you can just align yourself up with your brothers and your men, and you know what I'm saying, and somehow now, the women going to be the ones suffer, you're going to go back and quote Isaiah 4:1 and Isaiah chapter 3 and all of that stuff, which is all prophesied to be. But guess what, brother? Nope. You will have your portion of the lake of fire. We're in this thing together. Whether we like it or not, whether we like each other or not. I'm not saying all of us feel that way, but I'm just saying for the sake of saying, if any of us, are we staying back and considering what does say Elohim? We're so busy caught up in what says man, how we feel, how I feel, what I think, what I want, what I need. But we're not even considering Yah's will. Yah's will was for our people to eat the manna until he got us ready to go into the land filled with milk and honey. He didn't say we were going to eat manna forever. See, this time of lack that we're going through, brothers and sisters, it's temporary. I guess somebody say, well, now 40 years not temporary, DFG. I get it, but a day with Elohim is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years with Elohim is as a day. Alpha and Omega. But everything comes to an end. And right now, the world that these heathens know is coming to an end. Again, you heard me talk about it, mention it, Revelations 18. It's coming to an end. Why would you still want to be a part of something that you know is about to burn? Why would you still want that? Why would you still want your onions and your leeks and your, and your meat and your flesh and your hot sausage and your pork chops and your ribs and your, whatever. Why can't this refreshing, this new blessing, the knowledge or awakening that we're experiencing as the people of Elohim be enough? Why do you have all these demons, devils fighting against us of our own people, the Stephen A. Smiths and the rest of them coming at us? Barclays, O'Neill, deflating the conversation, trying to make it about a person when they know good and so damn well it's about their awakening. Because they love the lie. They love Egypt. They love their onions, their leeks. In other words, their money, their position, their wealth. And when Yah brings fire down, He's going to burn their wretched behinds up right along with it. If they don't repent and release that mess that they have hoarded up for themselves and distributed and get rid of it. Isn't that what all I'm doing? I didn't say join a damn camp. I said get rid of it. It's not intended for you to stack it up. God did not give you those things for you to build houses bigger than blocks and people out here in the streets, starving to death because they're physically or mentally not able to take care of themselves. In verse 21, and Moses said, these people, amen. I'm sorry, verse 20. But in the whole month until they come out of their nostrils, and it will be loathsome unto you, because that you have despised Yahuwah, which is among you, and you have wept before him, saying, why came we out of sin? Why can't I just have sin for a season? Or why can't I just have sin one more time? Why can't I have sin for a day? And Moshe said, the people among whom I am are 600,000 footmen. And you have said, I will give them flesh that they may eat a whole month. Shall flocks and birds be slain for them to suffice them? So why am I going to get all the food for them? Back to the dream. I'm sitting there like, how is it my responsibility to find a pair of pants to fit you, man? You didn't bring pants for this trip? Or food for this trip? Or whatever it was? And you're looking at me in my dream vision, just like they're looking at Moses. Like, yeah. And Moses looking at Yah. Are they serious? And Yah looking at Moses. Yeah. Because they do evil and they hold themselves not accountable for the evil that they do. Not their fault. So they say. Doesn't matter what we say anyway. And that's what Yah is saying. Look, Moses, I hear you frustrated. I'm frustrated, but I'm going to deal with this. Let's go on. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, is Yahuwah's hands wax short? He says, is anything too hard for Elohim is what he's telling Moses. He said, my hands ain't short. He said, my hands go deep. In other words, ain't nothing impossible for Yahuwah is what he's telling Moses. Oh, I'm going to feed these 600,000 footmen you're talking about. I'm going to give them what they want. Till they throwing it up out of their nose. Till they so miserable with it, they're gonna be trying, they're gonna want to give it away and can't. Books say many of them gonna be so in these last days because of evil amongst us, brothers and sisters, and men are going to want to die and cannot. Women are going to want to take their own lives and are not going to be able to because Yah is not going to allow it. They'll do damage to themselves and survive the damage they do to themselves. What I mean by that, they'll try to do some kind of physical bodily harm to themselves. And Yah will let them live, survive it, maybe paralyzed, survive it, with one of the body parts missing, survive it in a vegetable state, but they will survive it. And they will be in a state of perpetual regret because of rebellion. Not because of Yah's hatred, it's our hatred, their hatred towards Yah. And that's why we're here, and that's why we're warning. That's why we're talking. At least that's what I'm doing. Is my hand too short? Says Yahuwah to Moses. You shall see whether my word shall come to pass or not. You shall see whether my word come to pass unto you or not. God said, I'm not a man that I should lie, or a son of man that I should repent. Numbers 23 and 19. I am not a man. Yah is not a man, nor is he the son of a man. He's never been a man. He never has been the son of a man. Get it? Y'all get that? He's never been a man, and he cannot lie. He's never been a son of a man. So he wouldn't have changed his mind. Elohim, Yahuwah, is our Savior. Well, he most certainly is mine. And Moshe went out and told the people the words of Yahuwah, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and he set them round about the tabernacle. And Yahuwah came down in a cloud, and he spoke unto him. And he took the ruach that was upon him, and he gave it to the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the ruach rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease. And I'm going to stop right here, brothers and sisters. I hope the message is clear. And I know we've said a lot, hour, 50 minutes. In summary, I'm just saying with my brothers and sisters, first of all, take what I'm saying to before Elohim. But take it with the book and ask Elohim, is it I? Evaluate yourselves. We all have to. Is your relationship the relationship that your mommy and daddy told you that was okay with Elohim? Or have you cleaved to Elohim? As he says we must do. Cleave unto him. Cleave is like hugging. This is cleaving. Because in the mayhem that's going to come, all of those who are not holding on tight for dear life, they're going to fall off. They're going to fall away. Men, women, and children. I think the dream was to tell my people, be prepared, get ready. You're not ready. You just think you're ready. Many of you are saying you want to go. You can't wait till the end. You can't wait for the return. You can't wait to be redeemed. You can't wait to get out of Babylon. You can't wait to escape into the wilderness. And Elohim saying, but your hearts are not right. I can take you into the wilderness. I can take you out of Babylon. But if Babylon is still in you, you're going to do just what your ancestors did. You're going to go into Babylon. You're going to start complaining in the wilderness because you don't have all the luxuries you had at home or you have at home. And if you can't learn to live, or you can't live with lack now, how are you going to live in lack in the wilderness? What do you think you're going to say when y'all say, no more pumpkin pies, no more hamburgers, no more hot dogs, no more salad? You might be able to get some, maybe, what they call it, maybe you might be able to get salad out there, praise y'all. But all these things that you love, all these conveniences, all these comforts that you have learned to love, Israel, we have learned to love. If you refuse to prepare yourself for what is to come, and you refuse to let go of the things that you won't need to leave, how are you going to be ready when the time comes? How are you going to make it? And when you get there, how are you going to be able to embrace it? Whether it's me talking to you or 70 others talking to you. Are you listening? If Yah felt it was sufficient to get Moses and 70 other elders to bring forth the words to the people, what makes you think you don't need them? Where do you get that from? Surely, the pagans gave us that lie. Believe in the dead, and the dead will intercede for you. Neuromancy. Pray unto the dead. Quote the dead, Paul. Quote the dead, John. Quote the dead, James. Quote the dead, Timothy. Quote the dead, Jude. Quote the dead, Titus. Quote the dead that are written throughout the New Testament. And then say, oh, that's what Elohim said. No, he didn't. Paul wrote that letter to the church at Corinth, to the people at Corinth. James wrote that letter to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the earth. Go read it for yourself. When John said, I will prosper, I wish that you prosper and be in good health even as your soul prosper, that was John talking to men, was not Elohim talking to us. That was John's salute or greeting to his friends. And in your churches, they've told you that Yah said, I want you to prosper and be in good health, even as your Yah said. That's not, better go back and read that. That's John said that. And he didn't say Elohim told him to say it. He was writing to his friends. And them same letters have been contorted and used and now have become so-called scripture or doctrine to counteract the truth. Yah sends us messengers and leaders after his own heart to lead us and guide us back to him. There are many of us here. Most of us are being shunned, but we're still here. But the day will come that the elect of Elohim, they will hear, and they will join hands, join arms, and we will come together to weather the storm that is going to come. And we're not going to be dependent on the things of this world, the lust of this world, the entertainment of this world, sick food, sickly food. We're not going to want that. To us, it'll be like throwing up out of our nose. We'll take the manna from the heaven, Yah's food, and we'll be happy until Yah comes and take us all the way over to the new heaven and new earth that's promised. Brothers and sisters, that's all I got for you this morning. I hope the word resonates in your heart. You know, everything that I've said under the anointing of the Ruach. And I feel very, very confident that I've said all that he asked me to say today. That being said, two things. I'll remind you guys of the Bible study. Especially if you're new to the word or if you're seasoned in the word. 45 minutes every Wednesday night, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, or wherever you live around this world, do the math. This earth, 45 minutes. Opportunity just to open up the word and fellowship through hearing with your brethren, your sisters. Nothing required of you but a love for knowledge of Yah, that you might be able to grow or continue to grow. Praise Yahuwah. I want to thank, all of those of you all who have, put it head in the heart to do a love offering to your brother. There was a time that I was too proud to ask. I admit it. I was like, no, I don't want, I don't want nobody to accuse me of being some old wretched, parasite trying to use Yah's people. Well, I'm not a wretched parasite, and the damn sure not going to use Yah's people. But I will say to you that anything that Yah puts in your heart to share with your brother as a gift, a love gift, so that I can continue to take care of the things that I have to take care of as I continue to do what Yah has called me to do, it would be greatly appreciated and much needed. That humble enough? With that being said, for those of you who have shared and continue to share, thank you very, 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 very much. If you could just see my expression, when you cash app it, you would understand how much your brother appreciates it. All right? So thank you again and again and again and again and again. Hallelujah. And I hope others will join you in giving. Praise Yah. That being said, DFG, talk to you guys soon. Hopefully we'll hear your being. You don't have to announce yourself on the Bible study tomorrow night. Okay? Praise Yah. Y'all willing, we're going to be studying in Isaiah 43, and if Yah allows, 44. DFG, talk to you later. Bye now.